What happened?
It was a video that I couldn't. I don't know. The video was okay. Let's continue. What is the order of the? What was first? What did you hear first?
Why the A, number A?
Frederick's, no, the name of the restaurant. Frederick.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was number one. Okay. What is the second? The second thing that they mentioned.
B.
B. What is it? The restaurant, the name,
About the
right?
food. Yes.
About the food. Very good. They talk about the food. Number three. What was number three?
He mentions a little bit about the chef, but then he talks about dessert, and then he returns to the chef.
The kitchen, right?
Yes.
The people working in the kitchen. Yeah. Let's say it could be, yeah, number three could be letter E, and then number four, letter D. And finally, he talked about the cheese. The thing that he misses most about England is the cheese. And dessert. What about the dessert? What is the name of the dessert you mentioned?
Trifle, she said.
Very good. Yeah, that's it. And what is it? What does it have? It has
Fruit,
fruit,
cream,
cream, and
And cake.
bread, or
cake. No, cake.
cake.
And he said that people in Chile has a sweet tooth, right? So they like sweet things, right? We're going to listen. We're gonna watch. Okay, listen to the interview one more time. But now I want you to answer the questions, right? First, read the question. Yes.
Can I ask something? I was a little confused when in the order. You said it was first A. Yeah, I said, and then
Then
B.
B. Mm-hmm.
But the B wasn't the gastropub he was talking about later.
Okay.
I was confused
Yeah.
because he talked about the gastropub where to eat. I thought that kind of restaurant is like more unique. The image he has, it's not like the menu image, is like the pub restaurant. Like he talked about that later.
Yeah, when they
That's
asking
why I was
about,
confused.
yeah, I think that you're right. I think he talked about that when they asking about the best place to eat in England. Huh? He said the pubs.
Yeah.
The pubs, right?
I
Yeah,
thought that was the third topic he talked about. But before that, he mentioned the trifle, the dessert. So it would be the second. I have a different order, and I am a little confused.
Yeah, no, don't worry. What did you put? Number one is A. Number two,
dessert, and in number E, because he talked about the trifle then, and then he talked about the restaurant, the gastropub restaurant. I thought that, and then he said about the men and women in the kitchen. So that's why I thought it was the D was the fourth. Yeah, and at the end he talked about the cheese.
Yeah. So that's correct. I think that's cool. That's the best thing. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. All right. Let's continue now with these questions. Okay. Listen and choose answer them. For example, Jose, number one, can you read?
Why did he decide to open a restaurant in Chile?
Right. Why did he do that? Right. Karen, number two.
Why did he call it Frederick's?
Perfect. Adam, what about number three?
Why were Chilean people surprised when he opened his restaurant?
Perfect. Why were the people surprised? Wilman, what about number four?
Hey, what English dishes does the serve in these restaurants? Are they popular?
Perfect. What type of dishes? Next, John, what about number five?
Where does he recommend tourists eat in England? Why?
Perfect. Number six, Daisy.
How many women work in his kitchen? Why does he think there are so few women in restaurant kitchens?
Excellent. How many women work in his kitchen? And why does he think there are so few of them? Finally, Muhammad, what about you?
Sorry, I didn't listen the whole conversation.
That's okay, no problem. Yeah, the question is, what English food does he miss most? All right? These are the questions that you need to answer.
I think the food the most he missed that is a cheese.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, but we're going to listen again. Don't worry. One more time. Okay.
Okay.
1.5.
Kevin, why did you decide to open a restaurant in Chile?
I'd always wanted to have my own restaurant, and it would have been very expensive to do that in England. I'd visited Chile as a tourist and loved it, and I thought it would be a good place because Chileans are very pro-European and are quite open to new things, new ideas. So I opened Frederick's.
Right. Why did you call the restaurant Frederick's?
Because Frederick's my father's name. It's my second name, too.
What kind of food do you serve?
Mainly international dishes like pasta, steak and fries, risotto, but we also do several English dishes as well.
Were Chilean people surprised when they heard that an English chef was going to open a restaurant here?
Yes, they were. Very. I think people don't usually expect the English to be good cooks.
Is your chef English?
No, he's Chilean, but I've taught him to make some English dishes.
What kind of English dishes do you have on your menu?
Well, we're open in the morning, and we serve traditional English breakfasts, and then we have a lot of English desserts at lunchtime. For example, trifle. That's a typical English dessert made with fruit and cake and cream. And we do proper English teas in the afternoon. Tea with cakes or sandwiches.
Are the English dishes popular?
Yes, especially the desserts and cakes. I think people here in Chile have a very sweet tooth.
People who visit England always say that the food isn't very good, or that you have to spend a lot of money to eat well. Do you agree?
I think eating good food's never cheap. But I think that today, the best place for a tourist to eat in England is in a pub, especially the ones called gastropubs, pubs which are also restaurants. These pubs are beginning to serve really good food that's not too expensive.
I see. You said earlier that your chef was a man. Do you have any women working in your kitchen?
Yes, one, but the rest are all men. In fact, I think that's typical all over the world. There are far more men than women in restaurant kitchens.
Why do you think that is?
I think there are a lot of reasons. The most important reason is probably the unsocial hours. Most women don't want a job where you have to work until late at night. Then there's the atmosphere. Women don't like being shouted at, and there's a lot of shouting in restaurant kitchens. It's also usually incredibly hot, and I think women don't like that either.
And finally, is there any English food that you really miss here?
The thing I miss most living in Chile is English cheese. I really miss Stilton, which is a wonderful English blue cheese. It's not as famous as some of the French cheeses, like Roquefort, but I think it should be. You should try it.
I will. Kevin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So let's work in pairs and let's try to answer the questions, all right? You have to discuss together about the answers. You have some minutes for this, all right?
Open a restaurant in Chile because the open the restaurant in England is very expensive. For the reason, he decides to open. Teacher?
Yeah, he decided to open. Yeah.
He decided to open a restaurant in Chile. I listened the main reason.
Very good.
Yeah.
And you, Ada?
Because for the name of father,
Yes.
father name, he likes for the restaurant or for the coffee restaurant. No? Is
Yes.
very well named for these restaurants. Okay, that's all. How about you?
Yes, he also mentions that, well, besides he eats, Frederick's eats is his father's name. He also calls Frederick's, it's his second name. That's not something he also mentioned. So, Karen, why were Chilean people surprised when he opened his restaurant?
He said because they
when he think that Chileans are very European, no? Very European, very European people, maybe. No?
Okay. Number
Nah,
two.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're pro-Europeans, no? Pro-European.
yeah, very European.
Pro-European.
Yeah. Number two, why did he call it Fredericks?
The names restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
I listen. Um, he renamed the restaurant with this name because it's the name of the mother.
Okay. Her mother?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
What did you hear, Adam? What did you understand? Mother or
I
father?
understand this part. I understand this part about the name.
Oh,
Because I think Fredericks is a name of the woman or woman maybe.
okay.
I listen. That's last name.
Yeah, he mentioned that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's also well. He said it's because my father's name, and also it's my second name. So it's the reason.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't understand this part.
Second, yes.
It was his
Yeah.
second name.
Teacher.
The
So the name is the mother.
No, father. His father's name.
father.
Father's name. Okay, we're gonna listen again. You will check this.
A little expensive, but is food in international food is special food European food, no, in England. That's all. How about you?
Yeah,
Yes,
he said he would recommend
sorry.
that he would recommend a gastropub that was a different, like a traditional place to visit in England. It's less expensive too.
Yes, that's his recommendation for people who is going to England. Yes. How many women work in his kitchen, and why does he think there are so few women in restaurant kitchens? Well, he mentions that only one woman works in his kitchen, and he thinks that they don't like working there, maybe for the unsocial hours, that it's very late, and that they don't like being shouted because of the noise, and there is a lot of shouting in the kitchen. If I'm not wrong, that's the two reasons he mentioned why women work don't work in kitchen. And the last one is, what English food does he miss most?
It's William turn?
Yes,
Wilman turn.
Wilman.
Okay. The special food for him is like cheese, no?
Yes.
The cheese is very delicious.
Hello, Adil. How are you? Can you hear?
Yes, I am fine.
Excellent. Very good. You're using your mobile phone, right?
Yes, of course. Last time I didn't know about the usage of Zoom meeting on mobile phone.
Okay.
But yesterday I learned from my friend how to use that feature. Now it is working on my mobile phone.
Oh, that's good. That's perfect. That's great. So you can use it mobile phone or laptop or computer as you prefer. Okay. Okay. Did you listen to the dialogue, to the conversation, to the? Yeah. Could you listen to it or?
No. Actually, I join you late. That's why I am unable to listen the whole conversation. But
Okay.
next time I will try to my level best to join you at time.
Okay.
Hope so.
Okay, no problem. It's okay. Okay, we're going to, yeah, the guys are in a breakout room. They're working together. So now I will ask them to come to join us. All right, and we're going to answer the question together. All right. Question number one. Jose, I want you to ask question to Wilman, number one.
Okay. Wilman, why did he decide to open a restaurant in Chile?
Because he decided for the costs in Chile is very cheap than England. No, England is the locals. It's very expensive, and the kind of food is British.
Okay.
Is, besides, there are a lot of tourists, especially European people. No.
All right. Very good. Let's check. Okay. This is what you said.
Why did you decide to open a restaurant in Chile?
I'd always wanted to have my own restaurant, and it would have been very expensive to do that in England.
Very good. He said it would have been, right? It would have been very expensive to do that in England.
I'd visited Chile as a tourist and loved it, and I thought it would be a good place because Chileans are very pro-European.
Okay, another reason he said he visited Chile and he saw that Chileans are very pro-European, right? So they like European food, and obviously British food it could be a good business, right?
And are quite open to new things, new ideas. So I opened Frederick's.
Very good. So I opened Frederick. Excellent. Very good, Wilman. Okay, Wilman, ask question to Daisy, number 2.
Daisy, why did he call it Frederick's?
Okay.
Oh.
I listen. He decided to call Frederick's because it is father's name.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's check.
Right. Why did you call the restaurant Frederick's?
Because Frederick's my father's name. It's
Very good. Because Frederick is my father's name
my second name, too.
and my second name too. Mhm.
What kind of food?
Very good. My second name too. Very good. Daisy, ask Karen. What about ask Karen number 3? Question number 3.
Okay. Why were Chilean people surprised when he opened his restaurant?
He said that people in Chile don't expect an English to be a good cooker.
Yeah, they said that. Perfect. They said that they didn't expect an English, to be a good. You said a good cook. A good cook.
What is the difference if we say a cooker or cook?
Cooker is the stove where you cook. Cooker.
Oh, so
Yeah, cooker is.
people who cooks would not be called a cooker.
Yeah, the person is a cook or a chef. The object where you cook is cooker.
Okay.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, it's not like.
That's good.
It's like
Okay.
a cook. He's a cook.
Teacher, sorry, I don't listen very well. Cooker, it is.
Okay. Cook is the job. No, he's a cook.
The verb, yes.
It's a verb and also it's a noun. He's a good cook. That means he's a good chef. Cooker is it means the stove, la cocina. Cooker. Okay. In British, you said a cooker es una cocina. In American, you said a stove.
Oh, okay.
You understand? Okay.
Yes, and the person.
Cook. A cook. You said a cook. Un cocinero. A cook.
Okay.
Right? That's it's a special word because normally, you said ER is for people, but this is
Yes.
an exception. Okay, let's continue with the next. Perfect, very good. Let's listen to the answer.
Do you serve?
Mainly international dishes like pasta, steak and fries, risotto, but we also do several English dishes as well.
Were Chilean people surprised when they heard that an English chef was going to open a restaurant here?
Yes, they were. Very. I think people don't usually expect the English to be good cooks.
To be good cooks, no? It's using the plural. They don't expect English to be good cooks.
Is your chef English?
No, he's Chilean.
Okay, so his chef is English or Chilean?
Chilean.
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 Very good, Chilean. Okay, Karen, ask question. Who's next? Ada, number 4.
What English dishes does he serve in his restaurant? Are they popular?
I don't remember the. I remember the truffles, maybe trifle.
Let's check. Let's listen.
But I've taught him to make some English dishes.
What kind of English dishes do you have on your menu?
Well, we're open in the morning and we serve traditional English breakfasts.
Yeah, traditional English breakfast.
Traditional.
And then we have a lot of English desserts at lunchtime.
English desserts at lunchtime.
For example, trifle.
For example, trifle. No?
Trifle.
That's a typical English dessert made with fruit and cake and cream. And we do proper English teas in the afternoon. Tea with cakes or sandwiches.
Okay, also tea, no? Tea with cakes and sandwiches. Ada, ask question to, what about Wilman?
Where does he recommend tourists eat in England? Why?
In England, I think I listen. I think the pub restaurant or something.
Yeah.
Why is very food European food traditional? No, the flavor is very good. The taste is beautiful. No? Delicious. The food, European food. That's all.
Okay, good. Let's check the answer.
Are the English dishes popular?
Yes, especially the desserts and cakes. I think people here in Chile have a very sweet tooth.
People who visit England always say that the food isn't very good, or that you have to spend a lot of money to eat well. Do you agree?
I think eating good food's never cheap. But I think that today, the best place for a tourist to eat in England is in a pub.
Yeah, the best place to eat is in a pub.
Especially the ones called gastropubs.
Especially the ones called gastropubs. Gastropubs.
Pubs which are also restaurants. These pubs are beginning to serve really good food that's not too expensive.
No, really good food that is not too expensive. Karen, question. How many women work in his kitchen, and why does he think there are so few women in restaurant kitchens?
Yeah, he said he has 1 woman working in the restaurant, and it's not typical to have many women because of the unsocial hours they have to work, and also the atmosphere, and they shout a lot. Or he also mentioned, I think he also mentioned about it's hot.
Yeah,
he said something about that.
Yeah, it's a hot place, of course.
And he said maybe that doesn't like that is not good to women, or they don't like that.
Yeah, they don't like it, no? When it's, yeah, definitely. And finally, Daisy, what English food does he miss most?
I don't listen very well, teacher.
Okay, no problem. Let's listen and check.
The most important reason is probably the unsocial hours. Most women don't want a job where you have to work until late at night. Then there's the atmosphere. Women don't like being shouted at, and there's a lot of shouting in restaurant kitchens. It's also usually incredibly hot, and I think women don't like that either.
And finally, is there any English food that you really miss here?
The thing I miss most living in Chile is English cheese.
Daisy, what does he miss most?
Miss most living in Chile is English cheese. I really miss Stilton, which...
He miss English cheese. And he miss...
What is cheese, teacher? I don't understand.
English cheese. Cheese is it's a product made of milk, and this is yellow or white. And if you eat it with bread, or in some when you prepare some food, it is instead of butter, you can put cheese in the bread, and it's very delicious, no? Cheese.
Okay.
English cheese. That is that he missed. And he mentioned a specific type.
Cheese. I really miss Stilton.
Stilton cheese, no? Stilton cheese.
Which is a wonderful English blue cheese.
And that blue cheese, no? Typical from this country.
It's not as famous as some of the French cheeses, like Roquefort, but I think it should be. You should.
Yeah, it's not as famous as some of the French cheese like Roquefort, but yeah, he misses Stilton cheese and the blue cheese. All right. The last question: do you think an English restaurant would be a success if it is open in your town? I mean, where you live, for example, in Jesus Maria or Mexico DC or wherever you are. Do you think would be successful? It would be a success to open an English restaurant where you live? What food from your country would you miss most if you went to live abroad? Now, if you travel to another country, what type of food would you from your country would you miss most, and why? Okay, I want you to answer the question together one more time.
Can I answer this question?
Yeah, we're gonna work in pairs. Okay, come on.
A question?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Do you think an English restaurant will be a success if it's open in your town?
I think yes, because here in Pakistan, the people mostly like the foreigner food too much, and here is a trend where people mostly like to eat the delicious things. So I think it will be the great success if it is open in our town, and the food that will I miss when I am living abroad. That will be green vegetable food, which is made from mustard plant, and we oftenly make it in winter season. And we also use some oil, and that is a very delicious, you can say, food which we like the most. And if I live abroad, then definitely I will miss it a lot.
Yeah, I think in Pakistan you eat a lot of vegetables. Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
a lot of vegetables. Very good, excellent. Thank you. What about you, Daisy?
I think yes, it is a good idea because the English restaurant is not more common in Peru.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know any restaurant,
Yeah.
especially English restaurant.
Yeah.
Maybe I think yes, it's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. And what food would you from Peru would you miss most if you went to live in another country?
Oh yes.
Food from your country would you miss most if you went to live abroad?
In my case, for example, I miss ceviche maybe. Because I love ceviche. It's a wonderful dish. Yes, obviously
What kind of ceviche? I mean, with some seafood.
Yes, seafood. Yes.
Oh, okay. Here in Mexico, we have a lot of ceviche done with a lot of different things, like. But you like seafood?
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So you would miss that most.
Yes.
Okay.
In your case,
Chicken and rice, green rice and chicken.
Okay.
That's the foods I would definitely miss if I were abroad. Maybe in another country.
Do you like arroz con pato?
Yes.
Do you like arroz con pato?
Yes, duck and rice. Yes. I like it, but not too much as I like chicken. I prefer chicken.
Okay.
Yes. I think duck is a little. How do you say? Isn't that done soft? The chicken. Anything else you would miss, Wilman, if you were in another country?
Well, my country, of my country.
Yes, of your country.
Of my country, for me.
The recipe, what are the ingredients which are being used to prepare that specific food?
Okay, ceviche contains the fish and lemon. If you want to hot, you can add the teacher. Sorry, how do you say ají?
You can say chili pepper. Some chili pepper.
Chili pepper. Yes. If you want to eat the hot ceviche, you can add the chili pepper.
Hmm. Yeah, ceviche is fish with lemons, with some sweet potatoes, some corn, and lettuce. Yeah, it's a spicy, you know, it's a spicy food, and yeah, it's very common.
Uh, that's very good. And this type of food is also too much liked in our country as well, because Pakistani people always do use the more pepper and chilies in their daily food.
Yeah, I
So
oh yeah, I noticed that yeah, you eat a lot of salads, no? Always
yes, of
salads.
course.
You eat, for example, bread,
Yes.
bread and salad. Hello, welcome back. Sorry.
I don't know what happened with my computer. It's
No, no,
just
it's not your computer. It's that I have 45 minutes of Zoom, and after that I have to again, we have to start again because
oh,
it's the free version. I don't pay for it, so that's why. Every 45 minutes is going to, well, we're talking about food. For example, do you think an English restaurant would be success in in your town, Karen? Yes.
yes, I think so. Yeah. Well, there's a lot in my hometown. There are a lot of English restaurants. It's a small town where I was born, but it's a touristic place. So there are a
Oh,
lot of European people coming there, and they open the restaurant
wow.
like Frederick did in San Cristobal. And here in Monterrey, where I live, it's a big city where they also have a lot of different kind of restaurants. And I have seen one English restaurant, and it's all made of like desserts and bread. Yeah,
Wow.
mostly.
Excellent. Well, excellent. Well, what about you, Jose? What do you think about in your town? Would be successful to open a British restaurant?
I think it would depend a lot of on the cost of the dishes
Oh,
because I think the economic situation right now isn't the best. So I think it will depend about on the cost of the dishes because Peruvian people is very used to try new things, new dishes, and I don't remember seeing a British restaurant here. Maybe a pub, one or two,
yeah.
but not a restaurant
Yeah, that's
dedicated to this.
something that will be something new here. Yeah, not that's not like Italian or Chinese or.
Yes, we have Italian, Chinese, Japanese, Asian food, but British, no.
Muhammad, Adil, what about you? What do you think about opening English restaurant in your town? It would be successful, do you think?
Yes, of course,
Yes.
I think it will be great success in our hometown, because the other countries' food is also too much liked in our country, like Chinese, Italians, uh, and other countries' food as well. If the English food is opened in our town, it will be accepted. It will be accepted uh, too easily, and people will definitely like that food, because one thing more I want to tell you, that there is also impact of English
Yeah.
British all over the India, as you know very well the history.
Yeah.
We got separated in 1947 from India, and we were under the rule of British
Yeah.
since till 1947. So here is the food which is being liked in England. It is well reputed and being liked in our major cities like Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan. So if the other types of food is being opened in our country, it will definitely will be the great success, and it can be accepted uh, too easily.
Excellent. So yeah, yeah, I think Pakistan, India have a great influence of Great Britain, right? Because of you were, I think, a colonized. I think, yeah, you were under the rule of Great Britain.
Yes, yes, of course. They almost overruled us about 97 years.
Wow.
They got dominant over our peoples in 1857.
So
Since
you drink a lot of tea.
yeah, of course. But I was not fond of tea. But when I joined my school and left my university life, then I started to take tea because it make me fresh when I am full tired at school
Yeah.
while dealing to the children.
Yeah, tea is very common of England, right? That typical London tea, no? Like,
People also use cheese right now, which is made from you can say milk, and
milk.
I know how to make it because I am a science student and I know the process that is involved to make cheese. We can use it. We can prepare it by fermentation process, and number of bacteria is also used to make that
Excellent.
cheese.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your for telling us about this. Excellent. Now let's continue with the next part. It is now you're gonna work in group. We have I think 10 more minutes before we finish. We have to discuss these things. Okay. Do you agree? Decide individually whether you agree or disagree. Think about examples you can use to support your point of views. For example, here you have women worry more about their diet than men. Yes or no? What do you think? Young people today eat less healthily than 10 years ago. Do you think it's true or not? Men cook as a hobby, women cook because they have to. Vegetarians are healthier than people who eat a lot of meat. What do you think? It's true or false? You can often eat better in cheap restaurants than in expensive ones. And every country thinks that their cooking is the best. Okay, I want you to use some phrases. No? For example, you can say, well, I agree, or well, I totally agree, or for example, I think it's true, I don't think it's true, I think it depends. Okay, what other phrases can you use to give your opinion and agree and disagree?
Well, I think.
Well, I think the typical one, yeah, I think, of course. Another.
From my point of view.
Yeah, in my point of view. Karen?
We could say I partially agree because maybe I would mention something in between.
That's true. I partially agree. Oh, I agree in some ways. Also, you can say, well, I agree in some ways. Not totally, not completely. I see eye to eye with you. No, I see eye to eye. You understand? I agree. I see eye to eye with it. So I agree with it. Or I don't see eye to eye with it. All right? So I want you to discuss together. What do you think? Do you agree, disagree, and support your idea? For example, for instance, right? In pairs. One more time. You work in pairs.
You hear me, Karen?
Yes, I can hear you, Wilma.
Okay, here you have the picture. You can take a picture. If you don't have it, it's here, right? So you can discuss.
Okay. Okay, Wilman.
Hey, Karen.
What do you think about the first one? Women worry more about their diet than men.
Okay. Yes, in my opinion, I think I agree. Women's they take look after body than the men, no?
Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Take a picture, please. Take a picture.
Yes. Yes. Okay, number 2, young people today eat less healthily than years ago. Do you agree?
Uh, Wait a minute, please.
Okay.
No, ask me. What are you asking?
Okay, take a picture. I send.
Yes, dear.
Okay.
I had take the screenshot.
All right.
A woman worry about what she's eating or not. That's what I think.
Okay. Number 2, young people today eat less healthily than 10 years ago.
Well, in my opinion, I think yes, that's true. I agree with that, because maybe 10 years, I don't know if easier, but it was it isn't was
It wasn't.
life wasn't that fast. I think people goes running everywhere, one place to another, and
Women is much more probably like cook, no, than men. For example, in my case, actually, I don't like cooking at all, no, because I'm afraid I'm not very well at it. In my case, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? No?
Yeah, I partially agree with this statement because I have met men that also cook because they have to. It depends on how the roles go in a marriage or in a couple. So sometimes in a family too, sometimes women go work and man has to cook too. But yes, in some cases men are more likely to cook because they want and because they enjoy it, and most of the women do it because they have to feed their children, but it depends on the role of every family.
Okay, depends the activity, no? Depends activity
Yeah,
day to day, no? Depends
yeah,
because there are women that have a difficult job, for example, in
Have to cook because men live alone in your flat, for example.
Uh,
Depend
there,
the circumstance.
there I am talking about the circumstances. For example, here in Pakistan, the traditions are not in favorable for men to make food at the home, because this is the duty of our women, and they are mostly housewives, and so they do it very happily, and they remain bound to houses or home. So this may be the contradiction due to the geographical distribution and cultural values as well.
Yeah, I think yeah, depending on the culture. For example, in Pakistan, yeah, men don't cook because it's a woman's work according to society, right? It's
Yes, sir.
a it's a it's a cultural thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a different word, okay? It's a different word, and yeah, it's because if you say that here in Peru, women said no, we are the same, but well, according to the culture, yeah, the woman's role is.
But uh, sorry, pardon. But here in Pakistan, women are not bound to do all the things stressfully. They are free, and they really enjoy the
Yeah,
housewife as a
yeah,
housewife rather than to work in offices. there are some women who are working in offices as well, but when they return to home, they also make or manage all the things. They look after their children, they look
Yeah.
after their family, they look after their husband needs as well. So
Yeah.
that is the tradition.
Yes, I think yes, I think they do like it, no? They do love it because yeah, I talk with someone, they feel very happy doing it. Yeah,
Yes,
that's a great
yes, sir.
thing. That's a great thing. Next, continue.
Vegetarians are healthier than people who eat a lot of meat. I am not agree. Sorry, I am not. I do not agree with that statement because I am much more fond of eating meat.
Delicious than cow, than pork.
Yeah. Yeah, I also like fish, but I don't used to eat it too much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I will ask you the next one. You can often eat better in cheap restaurants than in expensive ones.
Of course, I agree because depends. Uh, the expensive restaurant is in special occasions for me. Cheap restaurants is some emergency or day emergency. For example, late to work, or I get late home. Uh, it's better, of course, expensive restaurants because there are half no there are half safety regulations, much more cheap restaurants. No? Uh, I think. What do you think?
Well, I agree too. I think we can eat something different, or we have a variety in the cheap restaurants, and as sometimes in exclusive or expensive ones, we just have specialties or dishes that are exclusive. Yeah, and I think I can eat better in a cheap restaurants because I won't be thinking about the bill at the end.
The bill. The money.
Yes. Okay, I think we need to come back to the other room.
Okay, guys. Okay, we have already done over. Thank you very much. Well, see you next class. Okay, because I need to continue with another class.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, Miguel. Thank you very much.
Have a good.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank you,
weekend.
Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Goodbye to
Jose.
Thank
everyone.
you.
See you next Saturday.
See you next Saturday. Bye bye.
See you.
Enjoy,
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, teacher.
enjoy your weekend. Bye.